Oh, what love so divine left his splendor and his might, came to earth. Instead of me saying myself, I really wanted to generalize it and said he came to earth for the sake of humankind. Because John 3:16 says that God loved the whole world, not individuals, the whole world. But you know the greatest thing about it, loving the whole world? He loved you personally too. And that's the greatest thing about it. Please signal me if I'm keep on getting away from the microphone. It's uncomfortable for our Zoom hearer, please. So I recite those things. Things didn't go well when mom and dad passed away. The thing I like about church was the warmth in church is that we come to church in the morning, we do divine service. I don't hear that word anymore. Divine service. You all understand what I'm talking about, eh? It's like what I'm doing now. It's the main service. And then after that, we'll have lunch or we go to somebody's house and have something to eat. And that's the best part about church on Sabbath. Seriously, because you eat the best food. I know mom cooked the best food on Sabbath. She cooked this beautiful pineapple pie. And there were 16 of us, and we all fight for a piece of it. Now imagine mom is you know, I love her. I wrote a song for her, but it's in Samoan. And I wrote a song to commemorate her in our lives. And my sisters and my brother says, you know what? You just made us cry. Dad was a powerful preacher, but also a very staunch Adventist. He was very staunch in the way we are. Have you realized this is the first time I've come to your church without a tie on? I drove here battling my way. I've got the tie in the car. I drove here, and then I remember Ken with his flowery shirt last time, and I thought, oh, I should go back and get my Hawaiian shirt on. And I was battling. I was trying. No, go, Rob. Be formal. Be down to earth, and share. The warm is the new cool. How do we fuel relationship within the church? How can we fuel warm relationship in the church? Well, we can't. I'll be honest with you. We can't. Because we live in a society in the Western world that, as I said in the lesson, it's mind your own business. This is my space, not your space. This is my area, not your area. And it's none of your business to tell me what to do in the church. It's none of your business to tell me what's happening in my life. It is because of the Western society that we live in. However, I said to my son 2 weeks ago, for just to jump out of my notes, I made a commitment in the beginning of this year that I will be transferring my membership from Lakeside Church to Forrester Beach Church, because my son has been appointed as associate pastor at Forrester Beach. The son that I thought that I may never have to preach, the son that I was in Western Australia when he was running out for the Roosters, second grade team, the Feeders Club. He was running out to play on a Sabbath while I was preaching in the West to the kids of the Aboriginal, of our First Nation. That son has now got a daughter. Her name is Tiamina. I think I mentioned it last time I came. It's an Indonesian name, not a Samoan name, but it spells like Samoan name. And I like it. Because every time somebody asks me, you say, Tiamina, I said, yeah, it's one of our ancient names. But Rachel, his wife, Grant's wife, is actually her great-grandmother is Indonesian, and that's her name. And Rachel's grandmother wrote a book. Her name is Linny, and she goes to Orimba Church. And she wrote a book, and that name is in the book. And so they gave me a free copy. Because actually, I told David Hay one time. David Hay wrote a book about Samoans, 100 Years of Samoa. You'll find it in our APC, in our libraries. And David Hay wrote about the history of how the Adventist Church came to the islands of Samoa. Now, you know, Pastor David Hay, who goes to Canmore Church, he's retired. He's getting a little bit old now, and we're praying for him sometimes. But Pastor David Hay can speak our language. I remember when I first got here to Avondale. This is what we're including part of our thing. This is what I'm saying. I came here, I picked Hamilton Church. So I wanted to go to Hamilton Church because I knew Dr. House, Murray House from New Zealand. And so I thought I'll go to Hamilton Church. Now I live in Corumbau. I got a 696 Master. Was sold to me for $500. I have 3 children. And I thought, okay, how are we going to do this? $500. Turn around, go, one of those things. Here I am going from Corumbau to Hamilton. All right. I'm new in your country. I have no idea what the fastest route to places. So I went for the back road, Edgeworth, around that area, through Cardiff, the long way. So I went to Hamilton, and then the late Dr. Bradford, great man, said to me, Rob, I want you to go to Canberra Church. I said, well, I don't know where that is. I said, I'll give you a number, you ring the pastor. And that time was Pastor Russell Stanley, was their pastor. Ring the pastor and tell him that you're coming as one of the students from Avondale. Okay, rang Pastor Russell. Oh no, there's no room here. I've already got 8 students in my care. And really, my hands are full. That's when there was an entrance in Canberra Church. So I went back to Dr. Bradford and I said, Dr. Bradford, Pastor Stanley said, he's too many students. Just leave it with me. Next thing I know, I hear this phone call, and I picked it up, was Pastor Russell. Well, you don't have to go to Dr. Bradford to tell him that what I said to you. You know how Pastor Russell Stanley's got a very deep voice. I said, look, I'm sorry, Pastor, I just have to tell him, because he's asking me to go to you guys so I can run follow-ups and cold calling, because that was part of my ministry. That's part of my evangelism ministry. I will just turn up to your house and knock on your door. I won't do anything. I'll just talk to you about Jesus. I just love doing that. I do cold calling to doors to tell them about Jesus that I love. Not really forcefully, but in a way that actually lets them understand. And so I was in Canberra, and Canberra is where I found also the warmth relationship in the church. And Canberra Church at that time was Pastor Russell Stanley. I don't know if you remember the late Pastor Lyndon Sheik, is it? His son is he's a current pastor at the moment at our conference. But yeah, he was there. And Lyndon used to direct me in the things in the church, and I felt the warmth. They actually bought me. I bought the first car for $500. Okay, I paid for my 3 kids at high school and paid for myself at university at Avondale. It's nice to say the words university at Avondale. We always know Avondale as Avondale College. But it was nice. And so we were short of pocket money sometimes, but ministry has been great to us. And Canberra Church bought me my first car as a $1,000 car. And it was a Ford EA with big mags, tinted windows. And I drove around in Morrisett to go shopping, and some of the people said, I thought you're going to be a pastor. I said, I'm training, I'm getting my degree. But why have you got a dark tinted mag wheels car? I look like a gangster. I said, I'm a gangster for the Lord. I'm a gangster for the Lord. But feeling warm community comes in the sense of knowing who God is. And my answer when I asked that question to myself while I was preparing this service, warm is the new cool. How to fuel warm community is all about love. As what Ken said at the back and through his, points in our lesson, and also through his prayer, that we cannot box people in different sections of our lives, because that's what the world is telling us to do. But we can only treat people if we really love God. You know, God doesn't want to save us because we hate him. He saved us because we loved him. God saved us even in a time of our life that we were hating him. I remember the time when I left the church and didn't want to know anything about God, but God's love was endurable and unconditioned in my own personal life. And for me to fuel warm relationship, not only within myself, within my family, I've got 4 grandchildren. I can't believe that. I got to love them, all of them, four at the same time, equally. You get on the phone. Hi, Papa. Hi, Papa. My two grandchildren in New Zealand. And they fight over who's going to speak first. But you see, I'm a traditional guy. Say, Jade is first, Darius. Wait. I know your name after King Darius, but wait. Jade is the most precious stone in China. Oh, Papa, really? I said, no, not your turn. Wait, I'm telling you. And it's nice. It makes you feel that warm relationship with your kids when you love them. When you love your children, as you all know, and most of you are grandparents, knows that when you love them unconditionally. No matter how hard a child can be, you love them unconditionally. Feeling relationship in the church and in the community, within your home, within yourself, you do it because of love. Oh, what love so divine. That's what's so powerful about Jesus' love. Not only is unconditioned, but it's divine. And if we have that divine love in our hearts, whoa, that's what they say when I was in the street. Boom, shakalaka, when you score a try. Yeah. Rugby here. When you score a try, you get up and you don't slam the ball like the new players. You just go, boom, shakalaka. And then, yeah. When you have that love that's unconditioned, Genesis chapter 37 to 50, it's got our key text in the story, but you all know the story of Joseph. Joseph went through some very hardship in life. And you all have read the story of Joseph. Joseph grew up in a family of 13. 10 of them are half brothers. One of them is a half sister. And one of them is his full blood brother. Joseph never asked to be treated nicely.